the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Na lawyer Paul Adom Ochre, Office of the Special Prosecutor, arrested, detaining as host of Good Evening Ghana and former board chairman of Ghana Airports Company Limited. For a Jumedi say procurement breaches a course so in a certain contract award in timer, no a board chairman. But before then, now over 18 journalists since President Mahama eba into power, assault your recorded in Ghana. Now, right after release, calling for the release of Paul Adom Ochre, the host of Good Evening Ghana, join news for reporter seriously assaulted by the military. And Paul Adom Ochre decided to overcome wasem because I say we share President Mahama coming during the election period. Normal say even volatile areas are likely a hotspot pointer. Na omo use military they fighting gangs omo kwako disrupt election results ne de kaka hono omo military for na enye involved. That was the call of the National Democratic Congress then. After the enye elections impo, even demolition exercises of warehouses military for na supervisor to the point to say after the military officers and airborne journalists in plain sight. That is how bad things has become. Yen fa in 79 in free Paul Adom Ochre and or say as now terrorizing by the government with government apparatus on citizens of the Republic of Ghana and then Ghanaian citizens for experiences. You go to lawyer Paul Adom Ochre testimony of the President Mahama and Dr. Omane Boamah military Ghana for ASAT now. Live evidence now or videos now supported this argument.
It was Tuesday. I'm a pressman. Yes. What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What are you doing? Oh! What happened? What happened? Huh?
Journalists are treated. Last Thursday, just before I had my problems with the OSP and went into detention, I saw a police officer who threatened a journalist, a Joy FM journalist, and also whipped the guy he was interviewing. This occurred during the brouhaha surrounding the collapse of some building that belongs to businessman McDan Shipping. And then McDan had the quarrel with the state institution, and apparently it was directed that his building be pulled down in circumstances that some people thought could have been better. But anyway, they pulled down the building. Whilst they were doing so, it attracted media attention because, of course, McDan is a local businessman. He's a seasoned businessman. He's been around for a long time. And McDan has been very vocal. In fact, this week, he won the Entrepreneur of the Year or something like that. And he has many, many sides to himself. And he's cross-branded with salt, with shipping, and all of that. So McDan is quite well known within the media fraternity. So when news broke that McDan's buildings were being collapsed as a result of some ownership challenges of the land with the state institution, media went there. And then when Joy FM went there to speak about it, this happened. Have a look.
Is it Thursday or some? It was Tuesday. I'm a pressman. Yes. What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What are you doing? Oh! What happened? What happened? Huh?
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that video? So the soldier, I said police, sorry, forgive me, is military. The military man asked the reporter, in fact, he was beating up the reporter as well, but he said, I'm a reporter. I said, okay, you're fine. Later on, news trickled in that the reporter himself was slightly manhandled and held in custody for a few minutes or hours before he was let go. Now, that's you see the guy interviewing the reporter over there. They are talking, and then let's see what happens.
Yes. What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What are you doing? Oh! What's happening? What's happening? Huh? What are you doing? It's an eyewitness. What's happening? What are you doing? It's an eyewitness. What are you doing? It's an eyewitness. What's happening?
Now, this is what is concerning. And when you go and talk about it, they will tell you that they will arrest you and they will catch you and they will trump up charges against you when you have done nothing because you are speaking about these things. What else can we do? We have to speak about it. Now, I'm going to present some analysis about this video right here for viewers to see why it is very, very concerning. So these are the three people. I hope everyone can see. Producer, can people see it? I think they can. These are, maybe you can put that photograph on the TV so they can see it without having me in the middle, so it doesn't disturb them. These are three people in the video, the three important people here: the military man, the reporter from Joy FM, and then the eyewitness. Okay, very good. I like this. So viewers, let's have a look at this critically. If you look at the military man, so three people: military man, reporter, and the eyewitness. If you look at the military man, he's wearing a hat, he's wearing some goggles, he's wearing his military fatigue gear, camouflage they call it. Now, everything this military man is wearing was paid for by the Joy FM guy standing next to him, the eyewitness standing next to him, myself and yourself. Anytime you go to do VAT, yeah? Anytime you go to do VAT, you are paying for the military man's uniform. So this military man's uniform is paid for by this guy, that guy, you the viewer, me, the people in the studio, all of us who do VAT. We are paying for this. So the apparel that he's wearing is paid for by the taxpayer. The whip that he's holding, if it's an official whip that they use in the training of horses at the Recce regiment and all that, is paid for by the taxpayer. Now, the person whose money is paying for it, he takes the whip and he whips him. In 2025, in Ghana, 32 years of constitutional democracy, he whips him. This is military. Ghana Armed Forces. This is the same military that is not allowed to participate in election. The same military that is in Burma camp and is only called upon for reinforcement. They are enforcing border security and all that. The police can do everything. Military cannot do election. But military can come and supervise demolition. My goodness, have you heard that before? Military cannot come into election. Where in election, there's so much volatility. When we are going into election, they even have what they call flash points. That started in 2000 election. I was in that first press conference where the CDD developed these things. They have flash points when we are going into election. And going into election that has potential threat of violence, potential threat of tempest rising because of what election is and how human beings are, we say to ourselves that we don't need the military, which is the superior force in an election, but we use the military to protect demolition of a building based on a court order or not based on a court order. That one, the military has to come in. When the military comes in, what this guy did is to whip the guy with everything that the taxpayer. This is cruel, very, very cruel, and it looks like it's setting us back. It looks like it's setting us back. This is not the democracy. This is very far from that. I was concerned that the voices, I was looking through the social media at the weekend to see how many people and the extent of concern about this. I didn't find what I was looking for. Maybe I was looking too hard. Maybe I'm personalizing it. But I didn't find what I was looking for the kind of outrage that should meet this kind of thing. I didn't get it. I saw Joy FM seemed to be a lone ranger. They were talking about it. But somehow, even them, at some point, they didn't talk about it. It didn't make its way to Newsfile. I didn't hear it. Maybe it did. I didn't hear it. But this is a major issue because if things like this are not stopped, then we have a real problem. Whether it happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 16 years ago, this happened glaringly upon 32 years of democracy. It's a problem. But that's not where the matter ends. The government issued a quick statement. And we would like to look at the government statement that was very quickly issued. So this is the government statement. So the government statement said, government condemns the attempted arrest of a Joy News reporter and the assault of an eyewitness by a soldier at a demolition site. Such actions are utterly unacceptable to the John Mahama administration and have no place in our democratic society. I am directed by President John Dramani Mahama to unequivocally reaffirm his unwavering commitment to the freedom and safety of journalists. A free and unfettered press is a cornerstone of our democracy, essential for accountability, transparency, and informed public discourse. Government also reiterates our commitment to ensuring the safety and security of all Ghanaian citizens whose rights must always be protected. Rights always protected. Government has accordingly directed the Minister for Defense and the National Security Coordinator to investigate the incident and ensure that the appropriate punishment is immediately imposed. Appropriate disciplinary and punitive measures must be applied without delay to ensure accountability and prevent future occurrence. And the statement is signed by government spokesperson Felix Kwachio-Fosu. Okay. Government statement. So the government statement said, government condemns Dr. Omane Boamah, told the press that he was not an immigration officer to be chasing Ansan Sadeli when he comes. So when Ansan Sadeli comes, he's not an immigration officer. He cannot be chasing people who have a bench warrant on them, who are coming to get the Supreme Court to remove the bench warrant. That's not his concern. He said that. Okay, fair enough. This one is his concern. This very one is his concern. And we haven't heard from him. In spite of the government statements where he's been apparently directed, we haven't heard from him. When it was about Ansan Sadeli, he spoke in the accountability series and spoke. Now, let me tell you what is also concerning about this government statement. And Felix Kwachio-Fosu's photograph is here for that purpose. That's Omane Boamah talking about. I take it off. Let's come back to the studio. He was smiling gleefully and saying, I'm not an immigration officer. Today, your soldiers are beating people up. They are beating people up, and all the government can tell us is a statement that was issued. Let's get to the government statement again. Now, I've been looking at all such events in especially the United Kingdom and looked at the way the statements are written. Okay. What would have been satisfactory for the government statement is that when military people go on these exercises, the bosses know who is where. So they may have gone as one platoon, as we learned, which is 30 men and one officer. Or they must have gone at 2 platoons, which will be 60 men. 60 will be too much for this. Or they may have gone as one section, which is 1/3 of a platoon, which is led by, I think, a sergeant or something like that. So in the statements I've seen written, the government usually comes out to say that government has taken notice of this video, blah, blah, blah. The officer in charge is Sergeant so and so. The officer in the video, they name him. If you go to BBC and see, they name them all the time. They name the rogue actors. They name them. And that brings some satisfaction to the general public. That the office, because they actually know the name of the officer in charge. This statement here that President Mahama has directed the investigation upon the Minister of Defense and the National Security. It's okay, but it could have been better. Because they know who did it. Everyone knows. You remember the famous Colonel Ajeman in the Caleb Kuda of City TV case. When Caleb Kuda was found himself a National Security Council, and as a journalist, he tried to video a few things, and it was thought that he had been filming where he shouldn't be filming and all of that. Some Colonel Ajeman's name popped up within the investigations very quickly. Now here, the government should be telling us that the officer in charge is this person, officer so and so, sergeant so and so, corporal so and so. He enlisted in the Ghana Armed Forces in 2001 or 2014. He was posted to the Recce Regiment so and so. He currently works on secondments with the National Security. The President and the Minister for Defense have directed the military processes to occur. And the minister has asked the military processes to be quickened because there's video evidence so that the punishment can be meted out to him. Government would assure us, therefore, in the statement that whatever punishment that is due such an individual will be clearly meted out to him because President Mahama does not condone these kinds of things. Coming to give us a statement which appears vague, says that the government condemns the attempt arrest of a Joy News reporter and the assault of... It's like you come to my house, and sometimes I have macho men with me, and then there's a problem and one of the macho men knocks somebody down, and the macho men are in my house. I have control over them, and then I come and say that I unreservedly condemn the action of that macho man. I just have to ask the macho man boss and say, who did it? And they will say that, oh, it's a Kobna Mensah who did it. Then I have to come and say that we have identified the person. It's Kobna Mensah. He's so and so and so and so. He's that. That's what should happen. What about the victim? The victim, the one who was whipped, what has happened to him? Has there been any overtures to him? That also didn't show up in the statement. And I think that is very bad. Because it looks like when people are ordinary, they are nobodies, we treat them anyhow. If the whip had whipped somebody who is significant, somebody who is important, somebody is a member of parliament, somebody who, if he had touched the journalist or something, there would have been overtures. Felix Kwachiofosu would have gone to pay a visit to him. What is happening to that victim? The victim who was just walking around and volunteered information to Joy FM, whipped, brutally beaten on the floor. No, the government statement didn't say that it has been directed, that the victim has been identified and he has been taken to a medical facility so that the injuries that he occurred have been looked at and blah, 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 blah. Nobody has said anything about it. So the victim is okay, he's good, the beating him is fine. I mean, how do we manage a country like that? Is it because of politics? Is that how we manage a country? The guy was whipped. He was beaten on the floor. Government statement said the guy will be disciplined. They don't tell us who he is. What about the victim? The victim, what happens to him? He's a nobody. He has no father. His father is not significant. His mother is not significant. His father is not a leading member of the MPP. His mother is not a leading member of the NDC. His mother is not a member of parliament. His father is not a member of parliament. So they beat him with a military whip. They kick him on the ground. Government issues a statement. We all go to bed as if he's not Ghanaian. What kind of Ghana are we building? Have a look at the video again. Have a look at the video. Have a look at the video.
Is it Thursday or some? It was Tuesday.
I'm a pressman. Yes. What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What are you doing? Oh. What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What's happening? What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What's happening? What are you doing here? It's an eyewitness. What's happening?
He's an eyewitness. They don't even know his name. I don't even think Joy FM asked him his name. He has Ghana card. What are we doing about the victim? This is where the Minister for Defense should come in. Dr. Omane Boamah, I'm calling on you. You're a Christian. You're a Catholic priest. Do you think it is good for a Ghanaian to be whipped like that and booted on the ground, and the government statement just says that the military man will be disciplined? Dr. Omane Boamah, is it fair? Is it fair? And Nitiwo used to be Minister of Defense. Now you are Minister of Defense. Is it fair that the victim, nobody talks about it? Even those of us journalists comment, nobody talks about the victim. Because you look at the guy and you look at him and you think that he looks very ordinary. But God doesn't like that. The most vulnerable people in society are the people who deserve the biggest protection. That's why those societies are better than ours. That's why England is better than ours. That's why the Americans are mostly better. You saw when George Floyd, the matter happened, the focus was on the victim. The punishment is important, but the victim, what happens to the victim? You saw President Joe Biden go to the home of the victim, to the children, kneel down and beg them. This guy is Ghanaian. Even if he's not Ghanaian, he lives in Ghana and works in Ghana. He deserves the best of treatment. Something happened, it may be an accident, whatever, he was whipped. But how do we recompense that person? Government has hospital facilities. Who is thinking about, has he been to hospital to look at it? Is that how we work in Ghana? Is this what we are doing in Ghana these days? And when you go and talk about it, you will see, if they won't arrest you, they will ask OPP to come and arrest you. They will tell OPP, go and catch him. He's talking too much. He's a foolish boy. Who does he think he is? Because you are saying these things. Now, how can you look at these things as a journalist and not say anything about it? And when you say these things consistently, they will come and catch you. So that nobody talks. Nobody should talk. Omane Boamah, Christian, Catholic priest, saw somebody being whipped, booted on the ground. Government issues a statement. He doesn't even say anything on his Facebook page. He doesn't come to the Facebook and say that, I saw the video, I'm completely overwhelmed. This should never happen in the Ghana Armed Forces. I associate myself with a statement signed by Felix Kwachiofosu and have sent my soldiers to go and look for the victim. He didn't say that. Today is Tuesday. This was Thursday. We have still not heard anything about the person who carried a whip and whipped the guy. The whip, paid for by the taxpayer. His military apparel, paid for by the taxpayer. His hat, paid for by the taxpayer. Everything is wearing, paid for by the taxpayer. That little boy that he killed if he before then he had to go and buy something and paid VAT, he has contributed to the apparel that the military is wearing. But here we are, whipping them, beating them, and pushing them away because he came to watch. He happened to be there when McDonald's building was collapsing. He's not a staff of McDonald's. He's not a supporter of McDonald's. He's not against what government was doing. He doesn't even know anything about it. He doesn't know whether there is court order. All of those things don't form part of his daily context. He's just earning a livelihood. He's earning his livelihood. That's all he's doing. And then you take a cane and go and whip him, beat him up, put him on the ground. Show the video for the last time and let's see what viewers are thinking.